Okay, I'm doing my 12 cardboard rock projects. Just a little overview here. First, I'm going to do a climbing rock, then an address rock, an anvil, a desk that I made, a little waterfall, a waterfall in a spa, a waterfall in a pond, and then the waterfall here, cardboard rock, cardboard rock, cardboard rock, and then my cardboard lantern. Okay, this is a video where we're making this kids climbing rock.
Just make this as a 9 foot by 6 foot, and it's going to be almost 8 foot tall. But we're going to frame it using these cardboard. We use them to build frames with. And all right, guys, so we got the bottom plate all made. Okay, so you guys would have last saw where I had the plate done on the table, and now it's still back on the table, but we've added studs. All right, this thing is strong right now, and it's not even complete.
Okay, we're just starting to sheet this with open face cardboard, and we use 1.5-inch drywall screws. The coarse is the best one to use.
All right, well, we got the frame all done, and then we started sheeting. This is about 15 minutes worth of sheeting. And right now, this thing just, I mean, it's one piece. You can't get any stronger than this guy. I mean,
It's all sheeted now. Just going to spray it down with an acrylic glue so the cardboard doesn't get wet when they put the mud on it and lose rigidity. And we'll start mudding this whole rock with a layer of mud, mesh, layer of mud, mesh, layer of mud. And that'll give us a 3/4-inch layer of mud and 2 layers of mesh.
okay, so yesterday we had covered that with one coat. We had done the bottom the day before and up about this far along the whole base. And then yesterday, as I said, we just coated it first time with the mesh. Today we were able to do it twice with the mesh, and we were standing on the rock. So rock is all done, stained and sealed. I'm just getting ready to make the crate for it. You really can't see the color, but it looks nice.
Okay, this is my address rock that I made out of cardboard, and I started out with one flat sheet which had the 3 rocks, and from there I made the second rock that would pop out as an addition to that. And then I just started screwing it together with the coarse type of drywall screws.
Okay, so just by putting the edges on the beginning, I could stand it up straight. This is all just got the edges on it. I'm going to put I don't even really need to. It's pretty stout, and it stands up by itself.
Okay, I started mudding the base to give it a little bit of width, and then I start mudding the whole thing. I'm putting basically a 3/4-inch lay of this fiber reinforced cement to make it strong.
Okay, so it's the next day, and this thing is dry and very tough to put down on itself. Very tough the next day, fiber reinforced cement.
All right, just applying some texture mix to all of the rock to give it more realistic texture and to provide an area for me cutting out my address numbers.
All right, well, that's got the 8450 painted in there now. Now I got to do my little trees over here. Okay, I thought I had the camera on when I did my little trees, but it's probably best that I didn't, because old Bob Ross wouldn't have been a big fan, wouldn't have been too appreciative of my, I didn't make happy trees. I wasn't all nice and everything. I was actually using some explicitives, so you guys probably didn't want to hear all that. But anyway, all right, did a little grading here. Gonna put some leaves over it here, maybe, I don't know. But it's installed and looking good.
In this clip, you can see the original cardboard shaped form that I had. Next to it's a completed anvil. I just thought I'd give you a perspective of that.
All right, I wanted to revisit the cement anvil project that I'd done some time ago and just never shot the video. I made a cardboard form using templates and then used the thin shell technology of fiber reinforced cement to coat it. It's only about a 1/2 inch thickness, so it's a replica of a 100-pound anvil, steel anvil, but obviously it's not 100 pounds and it's totally encapsulated. It's on the table. There are 9 templates that screw together that make this. And
In this clip, this is the first and only coat of fiber mixture that I applied to the cardboard form. I did actually trowel it out smoother with straighter lines and edges. The next clip shows that I've already ground and completed to perfect the shape, the lines and edges, make everything straight and nice. Next clip is I sand it down to further protect overall shape. And then I apply a cream coat with a squeegee to smooth out the final shape, so the next day when it's dry I can polish the anvil prior to staining.
In this clip, we see the anvil polished and ready for staining. And then the next clips here, the 3 different colors have been applied, and now it just needs to dry a few hours. In this clip, you can see the first coat of sealer that's just been applied. I ended up using 5 coats of the sealer to obtain the sheen that I was after. Okay, doing a short video here on this cardboard desk shelf combination that I built. I started out by creating a folded flat cardboard into the legs and the cross members that I needed to make the desk. I then started taping the frame together to start developing the different brackets I would need. This photo shows the first brackets that ended up not being just right. With these next photos, I've ratified 4 different bracket designs that I ended up going with for this project. In this photo, I've ratified the design and I'm starting to make the templates that I need, how many numbers of each I need. And then here I'm painting them to get them to be the color I want. I've designed this thing to be 3 different colors for contrast. After that, I erected the first 2 sections of frames. This is the wider of the 2 uprights, so there's 3 sections. And then I went into making the actual smaller section, or the smaller upright that fit in between my desk and the wall, and I've added that to it. So I have taped all the sections or pieces of the framework together just using packing tape, as when I'm all complete, I want any exposed section of the frame to be black. And I have to do that painting with the already painted brackets off so they don't get black on them. In this photo, the exposed sections of the frame are now painted, and then I'm basically putting on the brackets now. Again, you've got them already painted, and then I start to sheet it with the flat cardboard. And in this particular photo, you're seeing a weird look to the cardboard. It's not dry yet. I mean, the sealer is wet, wet, wet. So in this photo, you can see it's all dry and it's actually ready to go up and be installed in my office. In this clip, I'm making a cardboard waterfall form. And I'm starting out with these L's that come on appliances to protect the corners. And we're basically making a frame here. And, the shape is, this is going to be a 3-step waterfall. Once we get the upper pond made, we're going to sheet it. That's what I'm doing right now, is making the face of the first waterfall. That waterfall is built now, and I'm just showing you how lightweight and strong. So I'm sheeting the outside, starting to get some boulder silhouette effect. And here I'm actually adding a pop out. And I take cardboard and I make all kinds of shapes. But here in this particular project, we were doing it for a class. On this side that you're seeing here, I made some pop outs with cardboard, where on the other side, I left it flat. Here I've got boulders emerging out of this. The other side was just flat cardboard, which you see me now spraying with the acrylic resin, which you can find at Lowe's and Home Depot on the concrete aisle. It's just a glue that we add to cement, but it waterproofs the actual cardboard. Now here during the class, this is after the class, and this is it's after lunch. We finished this because the guy actually took it home the 3rd day and made it to where he built a pond and everything. But that's a real easy project made out of cardboard. And then we've also, for years, like this water feature, the waterfalls here were made with cardboard. The spa itself wasn't. The waterfall feature here was made with cardboards. On this rock swimming pool, we made the waterfall that's in the back. All the rest of the boulders were made with normal process, but cardboard is very agile and very useful and inexpensive. This video covers my creating a large 8-foot wide, 9-foot long, 8-foot tall boulder built with a strong cardboard form. Now, this current clip's as far as I got in the build of the big boulder before my wife kiboshed the build with a strict order to demo and remove it, as she said it wasn't going to stay. I dug and poured a foundation for the rock. The mesh that's laying on the ground actually gets incorporated into the side of the rock to lock it down. I screwed the bottom plate, or the cardboard L's, down to the footer at every 8 inches. I screwed the studs, or the cardboard L's, to the bottom plate. I screwed the top plate and interior braces to the studs. I then started to shape the boulder with cardboard L's as ribs. I then started to install the horizontal cross members. I then finished all the remaining ribs and horizontal cross members. I then started to sheet the frame up to the 6-foot level with flat cardboard sections attached with drywall screws. I applied an acrylic glue to seal the cardboard so it wouldn't get wet from the mud and lose its rigidity and/or collapse. I started to cover the back side of the rock with the first layer of mud. I then embedded the mesh reinforcement into the first layer of mud. I blew on the second coat of mud and added another layer of mesh. Okay, update on the Panther from the original 23.5-inch ceramic model to the 96-inch finished Panther.
In order to appease my wife and build the smaller rock out of the larger rock, I had to finish the lower sides of the new rock as we'd only applied 2 of the 4 coats of the mud mesh layers. In order to cut down the rock, it needed to be thick enough to cut it without the rock breaking. I then made vertical cuts to be able to remove sections of surprisingly strong cement covered cardboard sheeting, to my surprise. In this clip, I've removed and cleaned up the inside of the rock of all the cardboard and slag to make a Q-deck form that I'm about to make with a fiber reinforced cement mesh so that I can then, after it's dry, pour the concrete top to safely span this wide, 9 foot by 8 foot span and take the weight of statue. And if the grandkids get on there, it ain't breaking. To create my Q-deck form, I applied 4 layers of the mesh and mud on top of the cardboard and let that dry. The next day I poured the concrete support beams and I let that dry overnight. Then I mudded the side of the corners of the rock to the top of the rock with 2 layers of the mud and mesh. I then followed that up by applying 4 layers of the mud and the mesh to the top of the rock to complete it. The next day I textured the entire rock with a granite texture mix. I let that dry, and then I stained and sealed the rock and installed the Panther. Voila, it was all done. Here's another large cardboard rock project that we did back in 2012, and at this time I didn't do these kinds of projects for my YouTube channel, and as such I only have the photos of this project. But this project we did for NASA, the 4th NASA Mars rover Curiosity. We were commissioned to make 8 large rocks that mimicked the pictures they had for Mars rocks, and the shape, the color, the texture, everything about it. But we did this for the landing of the Curiosity rover back, I think, in the August of 2012. We were building this in July, and these were going to 8 different places in the United States because they had the anticipated landing, and they were having a celebration and I think a tour in the United States to promote it. At any rate, this is very much like the other 2 rocks that you saw earlier, the large cardboard rock that we made with the cardboard L's and sheeted with open face cardboard. We did that with these Mars rocks as well. We made 8 of them. All of them were to be the same shape. They weren't perfectly because they weren't molded, but you can see the overall shape of each is the same. But we took the time to make the frame just like we did in this video with the mega rock, and then we sheet it, and then we mudded it, we texture it, stained and sealed it. In this particular job, we had a couple of details like the engraving of the getcurious.com, and then the little slot for the QR code that they wanted to put on there, and then this bottom sign that basically said, "Hey, don't crawl up on the rock." But this was a project that we had made with the cardboard, and it's so much you can do with the cardboard. I just wanted to show you this and get your feedback on it. This is my cardboard Oriental lantern, which I haven't gotten done, but I started out by making the biggest piece up here on top, and then showing you it's sped up now. It's just a matter of putting several pieces together, and this is all a templated kit that I have for sale, and it's something that I think people are going to be interested in. I hadn't finished it, but I thought nevertheless I'd show you. Just finishing up the 8 horizontal diagonal boxes that make the top up, but it's fast and easy to make this thing.
This is our biggest piece, and it's not going to be a problem being heavy. Most of the concrete ones that you see, if they're this big, 2 or 3 of us would have to, it'd be a struggle. This thing will be lightweight, but it'll be very strong. This is 32 inches across. It's a pretty big boy, and it's not gonna be a heavy thing. 2 of us can pick this up. We're just gonna give it a 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch coat with the mesh, and you'll see that as we go. But
okay, just starting out by making these 2 individual legs with the base for putting in the ground, but right now just showing you the sped up version of making 1 leg to start out with, and just making a channel basically. This is a very strong little form that I'm making out of cardboard, putting the base on, which will get cemented. All right, well, I got the second leg. I started with that one, and I just made this one, but I got to mud these to where they're 1 inch thick. They're going to have mesh that's not only in the footprint, but it's going to tie into this, and as this all gets meshed, these 2 pieces are separate, but the foot needs to be structural. This is what holds the whole thing up, and it's only going to be 5/8 of an inch thick as far as the mud that goes around. All right, I've had a lot of good feedback on the video I did for my cardboard lantern. This is the top. This is going to be a 6 foot tall, and it's 5 foot across, and it's got 6 interlocking pieces
This is 2 legs that support everything. This is going to be a 1-inch thick foundation that you bolt down to a slab in the ground if it's in the landscaping or on a patio or whatever. But this I've got braced right now with a brace to give it a vertical plumb. And I've tied it all together. Even though it's 2 pieces, I'm getting ready to mud this to where I mud the base and this with mesh, mud, mesh, mud, mud. And here's the cut pieces of my mesh that I'm going to be laying on this. As soon as I get that done and I can take this brace off, which is the next day, then I'm going to start mudding that top. But stick with me, guys.